Do you ever find it hard turning an 8 or 16 bar musical idea into a whole piece? Hi there, it's Simon from Composing Academy, and in this video we're going to be looking at structure and how we can combine it with orchestration and texture to help develop musical ideas. As per usual, if you get some value from the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for composing and music theory tips and tricks. Okay, so here we are in Cubase with an orchestral piece of mine, which was originally written as a piece of library music. The piece is roughly divided into 3 sections or building blocks: section A, B, and C. Each section feels like a new idea, but also borrows musical elements from each previous section in order to help create some cohesiveness in the music. Section C is repeated with some small variations. This is shown by the C1 label here. Look at the piece as a whole, and you can see that it starts fairly sparsely with just one instrument playing at the beginning, the piano. As the piece progresses through, more instruments are gradually added, thickening the texture and in turn ramping up the intensity. So let's play this first section, section A, which lasts for 16 bars. Okay, so you can see that the piano is the main focus in this first section, and it's basically playing arpeggiated chords throughout in a constant rhythm. The key of this piece is in C major, and the chord progression I used was C, F, C, F, A minor, F, A minor, and G. From bar 17, we arrive at section B, which immediately starts to get a little more complicated in nature. The first thing to note is that the piano pattern we had in pattern A is continued, but this time with a slightly different chord progression, C, F, A minor, and F, which is then repeated. The 2 main additions to this section are the short strings, which are just playing chords in the same sort of rhythmic pattern as the piano in section A. I've also added some percussion to add some additional colours underneath. So already some development has been achieved by playing around with texture and instrumentation. Whilst the chords are mostly the same, the instrumentation and texture is building and changing. Try also to borrow musical elements from previous sections in order to keep a sense of continuity in the music. You can see that the piano figure used in section A is repeated in section B, and the short strings in section B also have a similar rhythmic feel to the beginning section. As the piece was originally written as some library or production music, I've included a short 1-bar drop where the music momentarily pauses. This was intended to make it easy for video editors to incorporate the track into a production, making use of some easy edit points. Bar 34 onwards is where section C starts, and where the piece really starts to come alive. As well as the thicker orchestration, the biggest change is that we now hear the melody for the first time, played in the French horns. It again still contains elements from the previous section, such as the short staccato strings and piano pattern. The chord progression is also very similar. The only change is the G major chord, which was an F major in the previous part, at the end of the section. This section is also repeated again, and is the same both harmonically and melodically as the previous 16 bars. The texture is even thicker though, with a choir brought in to beef things up further, and some high strings having a more prominent role in helping to boost the melody. So let's take a listen to this piece as a whole. Try to focus on the similarities and differences between each section as you listen. So when you are composing your own pieces, try to have at least an A section and then a different B section in order to have contrast and the feel of the music going on a journey. If you just stayed with the same idea or A section, you would run the risk of your audience getting bored pretty quickly. Hopefully this has helped to illustrate how a basic A, B and C structure, combined with changes in texture and instrumentation, can be used effectively when writing music. If you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to check out my free beginner's guide to composing music in 5 easy steps ebook. The link is in the description below.